Welcome. We bid you welcome. John Clauser, Johnny Metal, the Metal Dad, coming to you from my music corner of the world. Today, the year of the priest. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. We're talking, we're going to be talking Screaming for Vengeance today, baby. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. In his music corner of the world, John the Music Nut. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing well, my friend. How about you? Hi, Roger. How
Metal
are you, my
Roger,
friend?
our friend from you've known him from the North and South Rock and Metal connection. We are now going to call Metal Roger, fresh off the Ladano grab a stack of rock show from Friday night. How you doing, my friend?
Less sick than Friday.
That's always a good thing.
Absolutely.
That is always a good thing. So I'm just going to dive right into this. We are going to no need for too much pitter patter here. So, Screaming for Vengeance, recorded during the early part of 1982, from January to May, mostly in the Ibiza Sound Studios in Ibiza, Spain, with a little bit of stuff done in BJ Studios in Orlando, Florida. This then would be, I mean, recorded January to May of 82. Man, they got this out in July of 82. So they got this out pretty quick. We have
Hmm.
38 minutes and 43 seconds of absolute bliss. You got Tom Alban at the helm. We've got, let's see, album ratings or chart action here. Trying to get to my notes, and my paper doesn't want to move around here. Australian albums. Peter Kerr, you love this one. It got up to 81, according to the Kent Music Report. Canada, up in Rogers' neck of the woods, number 17. Finland, number 17 as well. German, 23. Japanese, 72. Norwegian, how you doing, Paul? 26. Swedish, number 14. UK, 11. Billboard charts, number 200. This baby would go 2 times platinum in the United States. It would go platinum up in Rogers' neck of the woods. But first, before we dive in too much to this album, Roger, tell us how you got into Judas Priest. What was your point of entry, as it were?
Well, this is going to be funny. Seeing as I'm a little younger than you guys, ah, I've gotten in a bunch of bands because of a video game. And that video game series is Grand Theft Auto.
Aha.
And another thing coming appeared on Vice City. So that was my gateway into it. And then I heard Painkiller on Rock Band. And I was like, what the hell is this? I
Yep.
never really dug into them until I heard Painkiller on Rock Band. And I used to try to shriek like him, which, wow, it disturbed everyone around. But I do have a shrieking voice, but I'm not going to do that here because I'm sick. So, but yeah, long story short, video game.
Okay. All right. So let's just dive into Screaming for Vengeance.
You're supposed to ask me if I've seen them live.
Oh yes, yes. Sorry,
And
I get
yes,
I
I
I get
have.
so excited with these things. Yeah, I'm old, people. I'm the oldest guy of this mess. That's why they call me the metal dad. So I tend to forget these things. So yes, how many times have you seen them live?
Just once, I went to the Firepower tour.
Nice.
I was impressed by Richie. I really
Yeah.
was. But yeah, I was supposed to go to the Nostradamus tour, but that album, uh, that could be saved for another show. God, I hate that album.
Oh boy. You and Chris Allo should get together, and maybe we should just have you guys just duke it out as far as how much you guys hate the album or something. Maybe that could be a fun one. But no, we're not here to talk Nostradamus. So all right. Floor is yours, my friend. Talk to me about what are your thoughts about Screaming for Vengeance?
Yeah, how many albums have opened up with a great like instrumental like solo? Like maybe Van Halen, that was it.
Yeah, but Eruption didn't start the album off.
Right.
that was the second song on the album.
What's the song
Ah,
about that little thing at the beginning of Mean Street? Mean
Yeah,
Streets. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
Mean Streets. Yeah, that would yeah, now that would be a little different, but
Yeah.
well, I know
um
on Spotify it has Eruption first. Maybe that's some reissue thing. I don't know. Anyway,
Plus,
I
YNC had Through the Moon from Black
yeah,
Tiger. Yeah.
Iron
Yeah, nice.
Maiden, Iron Maiden with Ides of March.
There you go.
ah, that's what I was thinking of the other day when I was writing my notes. Anyway, I think Hellion was the perfect way to open the album. It was kind of apologizing for part of the
Yep.
last album, in my opinion. And then, well, leads into probably one of my favorite Judas Priest songs, Electric Eye. And aren't the lyrics just perfect for these days? Talking about how robots are spying on you. Everything you do, you think you've private lives, think nothing of the kind. There's no true escape. You know the lyrics. That is perfect. It's like he knew the future even before Terminator came out.
Hmm.
That's true.
It's crazy
Good point.
now. But yeah, and what can I say about the guitar riffs and all that? You're gonna go into that. And you know, thought Riding on the Wind was really good too. Nice drum intro. Holland's still on this, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
I
And
thought so.
Dave Holland's on it until Ram It Down is his last one.
And then Scott Travis, blah blah. Anyway, and then is it just me or does Bloodstone, the intro, sound like almost identical to Van Halen?
What song by Van Halen? I'm sorry.
I don't know which song. It just really sounded Van Halen-ish to me when I was listening to it the other day.
No, no.
I might have to think about that one a little bit.
Yeah.
There probably might be something out there that I could think of, but I'd
Just
have to.
drum, the drumming really. I don't know. I'm kind of like you. I pull things from other songs and whatnot.
Hmm.
But you know, it's funny. I love this album, but some of the songs don't like just like they don't grab me. Like take these chains. I'm like, oh yeah, this is good, but kind of repeats itself too much. But yeah, and then Pain and Pleasure. That's I don't know. I'm weird. Like I used to love this album, then I listened to it the other day, and I kind of fell off for a couple tracks, and then came back when Screaming for Vengeance came on. What what is there to say about that? Truly, it's great. His vocals, especially the shriek at the end, and again the trading of the solos are just. Has any band ever really done anything like that since? I don't think so.
Not like that.
Not like that. No. And then, as I said, next is my intro, the gateway into the band. You've got another thing coming, which is just to me, is a simple rock song. There's nothing really complicated about it, but it's still a good song. Is it the most popular song played live, John? Fourth?
Yep.
Yeah,
Number 4.
I thought it'd be at least top three. Anyway, what else do I have written down? Sorry, my notes. Fever. I didn't like it at first when I first heard it. I'm like, eh. And then it grew on me. It's good. And why do I not have number 10 written down? Oh, that's Devil's Child. That was a good song. It's like they keep getting better with like just their I'm always so amazed with KK's soloing. Who's the other guy?
One
And
tip top.
Tipton.
Tipton. I can think of it for a sec. Probably because I'm on so much medication right now. So I can actually work tomorrow. But like the only guitarists that come close or maybe Iron Maidens. Like they're just so like they're not their solos make sense. Like they're perfectly timed and they follow the rhythm. They're not just like thrown together. Like I love Slayer, but it sounds like sometimes they just did stuff to like, oh, we could do this really quick. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah. It's like Maiden solos are compositions within themselves. And
True.
yeah.
then, you know, even some of the pre stuff, not all of it. It was just some of it is just frenetic, but then you had some stuff that was just really melodic and just like really intricate stuff. But yeah. So if you were gonna give this a ranking, like out of 10 or out of 5 or something like that.
I would put it as a 9. There's definitely a 10, maybe 9.5. I don't know. Sometimes it just changes because maybe I wasn't just in the mood to listen to it because I was under the weather, but
Sure.
it's really, really good. Like Rob Halford's probably you can argue some days that he's the top vocalist in metal. Definitely. Between him and Dio.
Gesundheit.
Yeah, I am sick.
Rock and roll. All right. All right. Well, while Roger's sneezing over there, John, let's have at it.
Is he all right?
I think he's just sneezing.
Oh, okay.
He's
No,
good.
no, I'm just coughing. I'm all right.
Oh, okay. All right. So this was my gateway into Judas Priest. I loved this album from the first time I heard it, and I still love it. Let's get
Isn't it
started.
amazing? Sorry for talking over you. That like two different age levels. This was like the gateway. I think it kind of speaks to the greatness of the album.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Great
it's
point.
just a fantastic album. This is where you can argue this is where they really put it all together. But as Roger said, Hellion, what a way to open the album. It's fantastic. That those dual guitars, just that line just brings you right in. Then they go into that wicked riff that opens Electric Eye, the number 7 most played song by Judas Priest, according to Setlist FM. What a well constructed song. You have the trading of leads in the soul and the solo by KK and Glenn. Fantastic pre-chorus, excellent lyric all the way around. You got another great riff, another great bridge in here. Here I go again talking about bridges. There's the great bridges when they just say electric eye in
In
the
the
sky,
sky,
feel my
always there,
stare, always
always
there. And
there.
then he
Yeah.
goes into the next line, and they go back in. Fantastic song. This is based on 1984 by George Orwell. It's
Hmm.
an enduring song. It's opened so many shows for Judas Priest, and for good reason. This song just kicks ass and just takes you in. Right, riding on the wind. You got Dave bringing in with the drums, and they go into that wicked riff. Now Rob is singing in a higher register than he did on Electric Eye. He stayed in that great mid range before. So this pre-thrash to me. Just relentless pace here. Fantastic track to get in and out in about 3 minutes. It just kicks your butt. Another great musical bridge on here with the ding 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 ding. And listen to Ian and Dave on here. Ian and Dave are so locked in on this album. It's killer. Bloodstone, perhaps my favorite deep cut by Judas Priest. This is so melodic. It has that little march beat. It's killer. The guitar work on here, there's so much space between the notes while Ian and Dave are laying down that groove. Fantastic performance here from Rob. He really used going from his low to his high so well. It sounds so effortless, I should say. Fantastic track. Take These Chains, which was a Rob Halligan Jr. song. This was a song that was never played live until 2019. But this is more melodic. Judas Priest, more accessible. This plays like a great AOR track. Awesome song here. Not quite as heavy. Excellent track though. Pain and Pleasure, the only song they never played live off this record. This is slower, more graphic, talks more about Rob's personal life, which will be revealed in more songs and books to come.
Mm-hmm.
But great pre-chorus on this one. It's really menacing. Nice little breakdown before the solo kicks in. Thing about this album, the first side is really tight. The second side is more about feel. Because most of these songs on the first side, every song but Pain and Pleasure's under 4 minutes. They're pretty tight. Title track, Wicked. It's killer. So many great riffs on this song. What a fantastic delivery and performance by the band. Rob sounds like a banshee on this. I mean, his vocals are through the stratosphere on this. Excellent track. The pre-chorus is awesome. And yet the thing is, it is for heavy as it is, it's still accessible. It's a smoking track. Now, another thing coming, that's what really broke down the doors for the band. Because they were getting a lot of airplay with Living After Midnight and breaking the law. But You Got Another Thing Coming was the first and only song by Judas Priest to hit the Billboard Hot 100. I believe it peaked at number 67. It got played heavy. My first vision or first time I heard Judas Priest was like John's. I saw the video. And I heard them a lot on AOR, Rock 107, out of Scranton, Pennsylvania, WEZX. So fantastic track here. It's a song of perseverance. It's a song that everyone can relate to. It's a song that even if you don't like metal, you listen to this lyric, yeah. This is a song about moving forward and kicking ass and taking names. It's a great track. Always believe in yourself. That's what the message is on You've Got Another Thing Coming. Killer track. Fever. This is really slow and builds and builds. It's a different song for Judas Priest, but it works very well. Excellent song. There's a lot of different changes and momentum in this. The part before they go into the last verse or the last chorus, when you have a great bridge here where Rob is singing in another different range, which works so well. Excellent song. Another killer bridge, like I said. This song was only played twice live, and I will get into that a little bit later. And the last song is Devil's Child. Now, this has got a wicked riff, but it's still accessible. You got nice call and response in the verses between Rob and the band. Great pre-chorus. Oh no, you're so damn wicked. You got me by the throats. And then he ends that pre-chorus while holding that long note before he goes into I believe you're the devil. I believe you're the devil's child. Killer song here. Solos on this are fantastic. How they end this album is perfect. I can't stand, I can't take any more. And he hits that high note and then it ends so abruptly. Perfect way to end an album. My last 10 of the Judas Priest catalog is right here. 10.
Yep.
Fantastic album.
Yep.
Great gateway. You know, we talk so highly of the 70s albums. They're all very good to great. This is great. This or maybe British Steel. If you've never listened to Judas Priest, this is a good gateway. Although those 70s albums are spectacular, this is highly accessible. Excellent album. Loved it when I was 12. Love it at 52. There you go.
Oh, my brother. what can I mean? I don't think there's I can't I know I can't add much to any of this, but I'm going to
Yeah.
this
I would
as
like to ask something though. What's
okay.
the deal with Prisoner of Your Eyes? Why was it included on this
uh,
album in the 2001 edition?
well, it is on this. This is the 30th anniversary
Yeah,
edition
that
of it.
one
Yeah, I
too.
only have the original CD. I bought this in like 88.
The only thing I'll say about Prisoner of Your Eyes is one, it's like 7 minutes long.
Yeah.
Um, and it really is a love song. I mean, I mean,
Right.
this was as about as much of a true love song as you could get out of Judas Priest. Without getting weird and strange. But I think this to me, I think this almost kind of reminds me of I don't know, it almost kind of reminds me a little bit of like Last Rose of Summer and like those themes of those
Okay.
kind of songs. You have this longing of affection for somebody, and the image of them is like a prisoner in their eyes all the time. But it's yeah, I'm glad they didn't put it on the album, to be honest with you, because it would have stuck out like a sore thumb. Yeah, it just would have really been it just would have been just it wouldn't have been appropriate really, because this album is just such a when I put this album on, and when I first got this, I saw the You Got Another Thing Coming video. That was my entry. When I saw that video, I'm like, whoa, okay, I need to know more about this band.
Right.
It's like 1982 or whatever it was. So the end of that year was the my when I did my first time into the 12 albums for a penny deal from Columbia Record House. Well, guess what one of my albums was? It was this baby. Of course, the vinyl. And I remember putting that sucker on, and I'm just like, the first thing that hits you is the Hellion. I have two words. I have two words for the Hellion: majestic, glorious. Let's get ready for battle, because you are about to get into an adventure with this album.
Yeah.
And this album, you suddenly, to these ears and to this body, this album becomes an out of body experience for me. I felt it again when I was listening to it during the week. It was like I'm just completely taken off into a totally different world. John and I both have talked. John talks about being the craftsman. I talk about the blueprints. This one, I feel like the blueprints were complete. They were finished. They were like, this is it.
Yep.
This is what this is what they've been striving for, and they nailed it directly. Again, the Hellion with this majestic, glorious opening leads right into that amazing riff of Electric Eye. Great. You could just imagine the shows starting off with this. You get the tape playing of the Hellion, and then the curtains drop, and then bow, 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 down, down, and then they just rip right into this. Um, you already mentioned what the songs talks about. It's just like, big brother's watching us. I'm sure once this is posted to YouTube, um, I'm sure Zuckerberg or Elon Musk is probably going to be watching to make sure we share this to the right groups or whatever. I don't know,
Yeah.
but I'll tell you something. This is you know, how eerie that this song is still so relevant today, lyrically, but just a fierce song that just sets the bar. If Maiden fans thought Ides of March into Wrathchild was intense, this kicked it up a notch or two or five, six. Anyway, this set a totally different bar for bands to say, okay, y'all want to copy our blueprints? All right, we just set here. Try to copy this. Riding
Right.
on the wind with those flanged like drum sound to kick off. And again, you get this incredible riff. You get a song that talks about the thrill of speed, and with it the power that you feel when you get that thrill of the speed, whether you're on a motorcycle and you're in those long highways and you just go for that long, however fast you want to go, and it's that thrill of the speed, the need for speed kind of thing. But man, the song fits it so well. The atmosphere, the way it was recorded, everything just comes together so perfectly for this song. But yeah, so yeah, the guitar again, the guitar interplay, amazing. Just amazing guitar interplay, and just you just feel every bit of this song, and it works. Um, I've shown this before. Bloodstone. Let's talk about Bloodstone. Probably one of my favorite Judas Priest songs of all time. Um, this is KK's shining moment on this personally. Yeah, this is his solo. Um, again, the song I think is transcended very well because I think you still have a lot of people who talk about um you want to be there's a lot of craziness in this world, and it's almost like a song of being empowered and just going forward and having that confidence in yourself, but you have the burden of a big stone, in the blood that you're using to carry this stone, the combination of the two things. It's to forge, sometimes to forge hard in your own path in life is a very heavy burden for some. And this song, it's like it gives you that confidence to go. But my God, this solo. Again, I don't know how this thing was tracked, but everything comes together and you feel this buildup at the end of KK solo, the dun, 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 and then you get KK doing this wild hammer-on thing, and you're just feeling this buildup and this buildup and this buildup, and you finally get the release when they go back to the chorus. Great song. Love that song. So they got to tone it down a little bit with Take These Chains. So, you get a song here again, written by Bob Halligan Jr., not the first time we will see him. Did a lot of work for Kix on Midnight Dynamite. Did some other work for some other bands along the 80s. Fronts a band called Kelly Rain, actually a contemporary Christian band. They mix Celtic rock with rock and contemporary Christian stuff. That's what his thing is right now. So, but yeah, this is an emotional baggage kind of song, really, because sometimes that really does kind of hang on people like a chain, and just how you deal with those chains sometimes. It's hard. Still, very, very mellower song. You kind of need it after the ferocity that you have just experienced in the first four songs. But then you get Pain and Pleasure. Okay, this one's probably my least favorite song on the album. It feels like it was a leftover of maybe British Steel or maybe Point of Entry. I don't know, because I just feel like there's a little bit of the dumbed down lyrics again. I don't know. Yeah, it's a song about it. I think is how did Rob put it? A dark love song, because they never could write a real traditional love song, so they put an S&M feel to it. So there you go. But you still got these real slithery riffs and feels all throughout the song. You got a nice soulful solo. Still, not just because it's my least favorite song on the album doesn't mean it's a bad song. Still a good song. It was probably a good way to close side two or side one. But then the title track kicks off side two, and you are bludgeoned. And then Rob out of nowhere, wah! And then you boom, again. Where is this thing coming from? Absolutely ripping song to start off the side two. Again, seeking justice and fight. Maybe a liberation kind of a song, questioning that authority. But again, that guitar interplay. Again, such an up-tempo, fast song. Great track to start side two. Then you get the mid-tempo rocker of You Got Another Thing Coming. One of their most enduring songs. You guys have already talked about the lyrics, but again, you get that driving riff. You get the driving backbone. Probably I think it was the last song recorded for the album. They needed something else. And it suddenly just came together, and then that's what they did in Orlando. They threw that thing together, became one of their most enduring songs of all time. Classic guitar solo, great bridge. Love the video where you see that, Halford's like bludgeoning, and then of course the guy blows up and he starts falling to the ground and his pants fall down. Y'all catch that, right? The guy's pants fall down after he blows up. So anyway, I mean, come on, you got another thing coming. Fantastic song. Don't need to say any more about that. Fever, another kind of a dark love song, another kind of slower paced song, but it has there's still that fire, that fierce fire, because yeah, there's an intense longing and desire. You set my soul on fire, burn me with desire. There's this longing, a very deep and intense longing. No wonder they would get talked about on the Nasty 15 with Eat Me Alive and songs like that, because man, songs like this are just, they're building up to stuff like that. Devil's Child, again, what a closer. Probably my favorite closing song by the band. I love Steeler. I love a lot of those others, but Devil's Child has always been the one for me. I love that. It's that again, that you get this menacing feel throughout the song, and you get that, of course, talking about the seductive pull of destructive desires, which, golly, who doesn't deal with that still in 2024, right?
Yeah.
But that solo into the bridge when you didn't think Halford still had anything left in the tank, and then he just explodes into the stratosphere, and you get that, Dave Holland with all these extra tom fills. You get this intense song. Oh my gosh, great closer. I love the abrupt ending. 10 out of 10. What more can I say about this amazing album? Even though Pain and Pleasure might be a little bit of a dud for me, it still is a 10 out of 10. I would give this a 12 out of 10, because I think as much as I love the catalog, this is probably, spoiler alert, this will probably always be my favorite Judas Priest album, hands down. As much as I love everything else, there's nothing I think that can compare to this album for me, because it just completely takes me out of my element, and it is a total out of body experience for me.
Nice. Well done. It's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, for me, it depends on the day. There's 3 that I bounce around with for my number one. When we get to that show, I'll say a number one. Maybe the next month will be a different one, but yep, definitely top 3. Easy.
Very easily.
Yeah.
So what kind of tour did they do with this, my friend?
All right. Well, I didn't go right too much down. I didn't want to focus. I'll focus on some dates, and I'll focus on some of the bands that opened for Judas Priest during this tour. The first show was in Bethlehem at the Stabler Arena.
I think I saw some kids at school with some Judas Priest shirts on about that time too.
There you go. And the next date was Alpine Valley Music Theater in East Troy, Wisconsin. The only 2 dates where they played the song Fever.
Huh.
That's right. That's
Interesting.
right. Then they bounced around. I'll just give you a handful here. El Paso County Coliseum in El Paso, Texas, Municipal Auditorium in Kansas City, Missouri, International Amphitheater in Chicago, Illinois. Hello, Pete Jones. Cobo Arena in Detroit, Michigan, Huntington Civic Center, Huntington, West Virginia, Broome County, Veterans Memorial Arena in Binghamton, New York, where I would see them on the Ram It Down tour. The Spectrum in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Wicomico Youth and Civic Center, Salisbury, Maryland.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Maple Leaf Gardens, Toronto, Ontario. Oh, there you go. I was trying
There you
to
go.
touch on all of us there. And I'll go in, and then that show and the rest of the shows in Canada, Coney Hatch opened.
Okay.
All right.
That's a good mix.
There you go.
Interesting mix.
Spokane Coliseum, Spokane, Washington. Vic Nichols Sports Arena in Denver, Colorado. On that show and some other dates, you had Uriah Heep opening. They were pushing the Abominog album. The Omni in Atlanta, Georgia. Greensville Memorial Auditorium, Greenville, South Carolina. Heaven would be opening for several dates here. Like at the Charlotte Coliseum in Charlotte, North Carolina, Dane County Coliseum, Madison, Wisconsin, Duluth Arena Auditorium, Duluth, Minnesota, Hirsch Memorial Coliseum, Shreveport, Louisiana, Neil S. Baldell Arena, Honolulu, Hawaii. Now, for some of the other dates, they had the Rods opening as well as Crocus, who were pushing one vice at a time. And on many of these dates, Iron Maiden was opening with the Number of the Beast album.
Ooh.
They played Metal Day at US Festival at the US Festival in '83. That was on May 29th. Other bands that were on that bill, the headliner was obviously Van Halen, but we also had Scorpions, Triumph, Ozzy Osbourne, Quiet Riot, and Motley Crue. And their last 10 shows were in the UK. They played the Apollo Theatre in Glasgow, Scotland. Quiet Riot opened that show. And they played the Rock Poppin' Concert 1983, Day 3, on December 18, 1982, in Dortmund, Germany. The other bands on that bill were Def Leppard, Iron Maiden, Michael Schenker Group, Ozzy Osbourne, and Quiet Riot. As far as what was played on the tour from Screaming, as I mentioned, Fever was only played twice on those first dates. Electric Eye, Another Thing Coming, Riding on the Wind, Bloodstone, Screaming for Vengeance, Devil's Child, and they did play Take These Chains later on the tour, but not on the initial dates. So there you go.
There you go. Man, that's pretty solid. So
Mm-hmm.
one thing I wanted to throw in, we mentioned Jake not from State Farm. So hey Jake, you had sent me a message. I wanted to he had given me a couple of quick thoughts about Screaming for Vengeance. So he felt that this is a riff heavy album. He's a bass player, so for him, Fever has a super simple bass, but a fun part. Take These Chains, underrated ballad. Um, he talks a lot of different bass things. Rob really gets after it on this album vocally, and his highs are picked up by the guitars a lot more on this one. So he agrees with me. Probably Bloodstone might be my favorite, and if not, maybe Take These Chains. But he ranks it as 10 out of 10 too. So I wanted to give Jake not from State Farm a little love there, because he had given me that. But we could probably spend hours talking about the greatness of Screaming for Vengeance. But this was just such a mind-blowing album for me. I'm probably going to tick off all the Iron Maiden fans here, but I would actually listen to Screaming for Vengeance probably over Number of the Beast any day.
Me too.
So
And I like Number of the Beast a lot.
And yes, I do too, but I'll take Screaming for Vengeance any day. But anyway, so what an album. We get to follow up next week with a little Defenders of the Faith, and we'll talk more about that next week. We'll have a returning guest of Jack Toledano, so we will have him back on the show for that.
Yep.
Like I said, our good friend Metal Roger, we saw him on a recent edition of Grab a Stack of Rock, a LeBrainless show, where Mike was not on it, but everybody else was, Jex and a couple of the other guys. So that was fun. Good plug for you there. Let's see. I know I plug this all the time, but if y'all haven't gone to Amazon to pick up the this book, please do. Look at Roger.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Roger.
I have a prop. I'm
There
like
you go.
Tim Darling himself.
But
Nice.
but now let me just kind of show off my little extra contribution to something that I could talk about. So now that John's got into a couple of books, I don't have the Blue Oyster Cult book handy, but or actually I do, but Ryan T's the one that we're all pushing right now. But just like that Blue Oyster Cult book, well, now you can get Pictures at 11 album by album. And let's just talk about a couple of the people that's listed in this thing. So contributor biographies. So let's just say Joe Beck. Gee, we just saw him on Point of Entry, which you will see him again in the near future.
Absolutely.
We have a fella here named Ralph Chapman, a very well known writer. Of course, we talk about Tim Derling, who did the Y&T book. Let's see. Chad Green, Sean Kelly, who was played guitar, was in Coney Hatch for a spell.
He's
Rick
done a lot
Labont,
of great
he's
work.
done a
I'm
lot of.
sorry to interrupt. He's done some great work on the Contrarians too, Sean Kelly.
Yes, he
The
has.
guy knows his stuff. And he wrote the foreword to the Y&T album review by Tim Derling.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. That was a mighty fine one too.
Absolutely.
Rick Labonte, Windsor, Ontario. You see him on Sea of Tranquility. Y'all, if you haven't picked, if you want to get some good music for your soul, pick up his Living It Up album. Double album. There's a lot to take in, but it's a fine album. And he just seems like a really good guy. I've never talked to Rick personally. Would love to talk to him. Let's see, a couple other guys here. Let's see, Doug Mayer. I don't know who he is. We have our good friend Pontus
Pontus is in there.
Pontus is in the.
Pontus. That's awesome.
We love Pontus from the
Pontus
Contrarians.
is awesome.
Pontus is awesome. We love Pontus.
From the Contrarians.
And then you get some doofus guy here named John Clauser. Yes, folks, I got to contribute to a Martin Popoff book. And I'll tell you something. When I saw this come to me, I'll be honest, I was gobsmacked. It was surreal seeing my name in the back of the book and then just kind of thumbing through the couple albums that I only participated on. Like, again, this goes by just his solo discography. There's no Page and Plant, no Zeppelin, no Alison Krauss stuff. It's just his solo material. So I got to participate on 3 of his later albums in the catalog. So for me just to see my name kind of woven in this is just very surreal to me. And so I really I appreciate Martin for letting me tag into this a little bit. And you can go to Martin's site, American dollars. It's like $39 plus whatever shipping and handling.
That's counting the shipping.
That is counting the shipping. You're right.
Yeah, 39 for shipping included.
Right. So he'll sign them to you and stuff like that. But again, just to quote the Road Warriors, what a rush that was to have been a part of something like that. And yeah, he's pointing to me. I was like, yeah, we both know that feeling. We haven't done a book together yet, but
yeah.
But I'll tell you something. It's it's a rush. It's really a cool thing to say. So
that's good to know because I'm going to be part of a book that's completely not music. So
okay.
Nice.
Well, is it something you can talk about, or is it something that you still have to keep under wraps yet?
I don't know. Hey, Jason, hurry up and write your damn book. He's a paranormal guy. He's like a ghost hunter.
Oh, okay. But anyway,
stuff only tinfoil hat wearers would read.
Hey, you never know. Some people might actually go out for that. But anyway, so there you go. So that's something that you can go to Martin Popoff's site to check out. Just for all the Robert Plant solo discography people out there, everybody's probably more into Zeppelin more so than his solo stuff. But I'll tell you something, you got to listen to Robert's solo stuff. There's so much good stuff there. So there you go, guys. Thank you for tuning in again. Roger, thank you for doing us. We'll see you again. We'll see you again for Painkiller. That's going to be awesome. I can't wait
Which
to
I won't be sick for, and I can
no.
talk like Pete Jones.
Love it.
Kidding.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. So there you go, y'all. Screaming for vengeance. Let's hear it. We want to hear your thoughts. We want to know what you're going to be thinking about with when we dive into some defenders of the faith next week. For my good friend John the Music Nut, for my friend Roger, Metal Roger, John Clauser, Johnny Metal, the Metal Dad. Keep on rocking forever. We will see you next week when we defend some faith. Take care, Pep. Take care, everybody.